Have you ever sat in a conversation and felt your mind go completely blank? Like suddenly the words vanish, your thoughts scatter, and all that comes out is an awkward silence? Yeah, we've all been there. And let me tell you something. Running out of things to say isn't a personal flaw, it's a skill you simply haven't learned yet. Now, imagine this. What if every time you talked, you never ran out of ideas? You could hold a conversation with anyone, friends, colleagues, even strangers at a cafe, and effortlessly keep it flowing, engaging, and meaningful. Sounds like magic, right? But it's not magic, it's strategy. It's something you can train, practice, and eventually master. Now, whether you're an aspiring podcaster, learning a new language, or just someone who wants to truly connect with people, this video is your roadmap. Today, we're going to uncover the secrets to never running out of things to say. We're mixing practical tips, real-life examples, and some psychology, all in a way that's easy to apply every single day. Let's start with a truth you may not have realized. Most people think conversations are about talking, but actually, they're about curiosity. Curiosity is your secret weapon. When you genuinely wonder about someone's story, their experience, their thoughts, the words will always come.
Think about it. A child asks endless questions, right? Why is the sky blue? Why do cats purr? Why is pizza round? Their curiosity fuels their words. And here's the thing. Adults lose that instinct. We stop asking, and then we stop talking. The good news? You can get it back. So the first secret to never running out of things to say is this: ask more than you speak. Sounds simple, but let me break it down. Asking questions creates a rhythm in conversation. And rhythm is what keeps words flowing. Even better, it shows people you care, you're present, and that you're genuinely interested. And here's a little bonus. When you ask, you also learn. You learn about the other person, you learn about yourself, and you guessed it, you even learn how to talk about yourself more naturally. Because here's the kicker. Every conversation is like a mirror. The more you observe, the more you understand, the more stories you find hiding in your own mind. And those stories, those are fuel for words. By the end of this video, you'll have not one, not two, but at least 10 powerful strategies to ensure your conversations never hit a dead end. You'll learn how to build a mental library of ideas, how to connect thoughts naturally, and how to use humor and curiosity to keep every interaction alive. Ready? Let's dive in. Okay, strategy number 1, building your mental library. Think of your brain as a bookshelf. Every fact, every story, every experience you have is like a book. The more books on your shelf, the more material you can pull from in a conversation. Here's how to do it. First, read or listen every day. Not just news articles or textbooks, but podcasts, interviews, or even fun trivia. Every bit of knowledge you collect is a conversation starter. For example, imagine you learned that octopuses have 3 hearts. That's not just trivia, it's a springboard. You can start with, did you know octopuses have 3 hearts? Imagine what that must feel like. Suddenly, you're in a conversation. Next, store stories, not just facts. Humans are wired to respond to stories. Facts may impress, but stories connect. So whenever something happens in your day, a small victory, a funny accident, a moment of inspiration, mentally note it. Ask yourself, could this be told in a few sentences? Could someone relate to this? Now here's a tip most people miss. Create mental links between ideas. This is like a spider web in your brain. One fact triggers another, one story leads to another, and suddenly you're in a 15-minute conversation without effort. For instance, talking about octopuses might remind you of the ocean, which might lead to scuba diving, which might lead to a story about your last beach vacation. See? Flow achieved. Another strategy. Embrace curiosity in learning.
Don't just memorize facts. Ask why. How? What if? Why does the sky turn orange at sunset? How do bees communicate? What if you could speak 3 languages fluently? These questions themselves are conversation gold. And when you combine curiosity with your mental library, you'll never struggle for words again. Practical tip: spend 10 minutes every morning noting 3 interesting things you learned or experienced yesterday. Could be a strange fact, a joke, a quote, or an observation. Write them down or mentally rehearse them. By doing this consistently, your brain starts to recognize patterns in conversations and naturally generates material. You're essentially programming yourself to never run out of things to say. And here's a little humor for perspective. Even if you forget someone's name or mispronounce a word, your mental library saves you. Oh, I was thinking about this crazy octopus fact. Have you ever seen an octopus dance? Boom. Conversation saved. So remember, read, listen, observe, store stories, create links, and fuel curiosity. This is the foundation of endless conversation. Now that your mental library is growing, let's talk about flow. Because even with tons of knowledge, if you don't know how to connect ideas naturally, you'll still hit awkward silences. Flow is about connecting ideas like a chain. Think of it as jumping from stone to stone across a river. Each stone is a topic, and each jump is a smooth transition. Step 1. The echo technique. This means repeating or reflecting part of what someone just said before adding your own thought. For example, if someone says, "I love hiking in the mountains," you could respond, "Mountains are incredible. Do you prefer sunrise or sunset hikes?" See? You're building on their words rather than introducing something random. Step 2. Use mini stories to elaborate. If someone mentions a topic, think of a related story from your mental library. A 20-second story is often enough to spark a new conversation thread. Step 3. Balance talking and listening. Aim for a ratio of about 60% listening, 40% talking. This keeps the conversation dynamic and natural. Humor is your secret lubricant. Light, relevant humor not only eases tension, but also makes your conversation memorable. Don't force jokes. Instead, notice funny connections. For instance, if someone says, "I burnt my toast again this morning," you could respond, "Maybe your toaster is secretly training to be a chef." Another flow strategy: the pivot. If a topic runs dry, pivot to a related area. For example, talking about toast could lead to breakfast preferences, childhood morning routines, travel adventures, or even cooking hacks. And here's a golden tip: ask open-ended questions. Instead of yes/no questions, ask questions that start with what, how, or why. What inspired you to start painting? How did you come up with that idea? Why do you love that city so much? These questions naturally pull the other person into sharing stories and details, giving you more material to respond to. For language learners, this is even more powerful. Open-ended questions not only expand your vocabulary, but also help you practice forming sentences naturally. You're not just learning words, you're learning how to think in the language. Finally, embrace silence strategically. A short pause of 2 to 3 seconds after someone finishes talking can create anticipation, show thoughtfulness, and even give your brain a moment to pull from your mental library. Silence isn't awkward when used intentionally, it's conversational power. All right, let's wrap this up with practical tips, examples, and a strong conclusion. Tip 1. Create a daily conversation challenge. Talk to at least one person you wouldn't normally engage with every day. Even a simple, "How's your day going?" can snowball into a meaningful exchange. Tip 2. Record and review. If you're a podcaster or learning a new language, record yourself speaking for 5 minutes daily. Listen back, notice patterns, strengths, and moments where your conversation could flow better. Tip 3. Curate go-to stories. Have 5 mini stories ready that you can adapt to different contexts. These can be funny, inspirational, or informative. Now, let's see real-life examples. John, a language learner, used curiosity to never run out of words. He asked open-ended questions to friends in English every day. 6 months later, he could comfortably hold 30-minute conversations without hesitation. Sarah, an everyday podcaster, built her mental library by listening to 2 podcasts, reading 1 article, and writing 1 observation daily. Now she has endless ideas for episodes and interviews. And here's a funny one. Mike once got stuck in a 15-minute silence on a Zoom call. He remembered a weird fact about flamingos standing on 1 leg. Boom. Everyone was laughing, engaged, and the silence was gone.
Key takeaway? Never running out of things to say is less about talent and more about preparation, curiosity, and connection. Build your mental library. Practice flow. Ask meaningful questions. Use humor. And embrace intentional silence. And remember, every conversation is an opportunity, not just to speak, but to learn, grow, and connect. Whether you're a language learner, a podcaster, or someone seeking to change your life one day at a time, these strategies work. So here's your action plan. Today, pick 1 strategy. Ask a question, share a story, or note 3 observations. Tomorrow, add another. In 30 days, you'll notice a transformation in your conversations, confidence, and connections. If you found this video valuable, make sure to follow the channel, because we're here to help you grow, speak, and learn something new every day. Conversations are a skill, and skill grows with practice. Remember, curiosity fuels words. Stories connect. Questions open doors. Apply these and you'll never run out of things to say. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep talking, keep learning, and keep transforming your life, 1 word at a time.